Kimchi fried rice is one of those things. It's like a pasta sauce. Everyone does it a little different. They all taste kind of similar, but everyone has their own little differences.
Add rice.
She could have done this on the saute pan.
And I will add around a quarter cup water.
Wait, what? No,
Ooh,
what? No.
Jamie Oliver level up there. Wow.
No water. Auntie Maangchi, no water.
More like a paella. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, owner of Mission Sandwich Social, located right here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, winner of Beat Bobby Flay Season 1, and today I'm going to be reacting to Uncle Roger review Maangchi, Kimchi Fried Rice. Before we go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my amazing patron, David Lay. Thank you so much for your support, and with that out of the way, on to the episode.
Uncle Roger in the middle of getting cancelled. So what better thing to do than review someone making fried rice? Auntie Maangchi, she a legend in Korean cooking. New York Times call her the YouTube Korean Julia Tsao.
I like
who
Maangchi.
the hell is
She's great.
Julia?
For my Korean brothers and sisters out there, Maangchi, hammer, right? I know in Korean that means hammer, but is that like, did she call herself the hammer, you know, laying it down? Let me know.
She don't even have one egg fried rice recipe. And yes, Uncle Roger already got Maangchi auntie title. Because
nice.
every time Uncle Roger want to cook Korean dish, I always use Maangchi recipe. It's the real deal.
I just want to give a shout out to Julia Child because watching Julia Child videos as a child is one of my first memories ever as a child. That's a lot of child. You get what I mean. And I absolutely loved watching Julia Child. Her voice is so weird, but I was so hypnotized by it.
That's all for today on The French Chef. This is Julia Child. Bon courage.
I loved watching her videos, and it really was like the first thing that planted a seed in my mind to start cooking. I remember having this memory of her with a mound of flour, mixing in the water, things like that, and I actually did that at home, formed a dough, put it in the oven as like a 5-year-old kid in Brooklyn, baked it, and ate it. And I'm just shocked I didn't burn down the house, but my parents were so proud of me and also kind of amazed that I didn't burn down the house. Many years later, after I became a chef, I was like, wait, did I dream of that? Like, there's no way that bread could have tasted good, even though I remember it being soft and pillowy. But I was like, there's no way that bread could have been good because there was no yeast in it. There was nothing to leaven the bread and make it soft. It wasn't until a random trip to the supermarket one day when I passed by Aunt Jemima's self-rising flour. I was like, that's what it was, because I remember it being Aunt Jemima's self-rising flour, and I was like, that's how it leavened. There are leaveners in the self-rising flours.
Hi everybody, I'm still in Montauk. Today's recipe
love Montauk.
is
So beautiful.
kimchi bokkeumbap, seafood kimchi fried rice.
Kimchi fried rice, just like egg fried rice, usually it's just whatever you have in fridge. This seafood here, a bit fancy.
This is a one-pot meal. So let's start.
One pot meal?
One pot
Good.
meal,
Are
okay.
old
Convenient.
and
No need to
very
wash so many
clean. There is
dishes.
no set. And shell
Nice, those some
the shrimp.
jumbo-ass
Good.
prawns.
Good
Nice.
technique,
Inside is some intestine.
correct?
So on the back like this. See the
It's full of
black and
Always devein your shrimp because shrimp vein just like Jamie Oliver. Full of
the vein. This is the guts. So remove this. Belly area, I just give some slits.
Good.
Like this,
Prevent it from curling up after cooking.
Yeah. Yep.
like this. So that it's not going to shrink when it's cooked.
Auntie Maangchi is so good at preparing shrimp. She my favorite prawn star.
I prepare 6 large shrimp and six large scallops. So let's
6 large shrimp and 6 large scallop.
Very fancy.
That's too expensive, Auntie Maangchi. Your kimchi fried rice gonna bankrupt Uncle Roger. Don't make cheap thing expensive.
Those look like dry scallops as well, which are better for searing. When I say dry scallops, means there's no extra water. It's not been packed in water. And when you pack scallops in water or pump it with water, it takes a scallop that would have been this big and makes it that big, right? So it makes a bigger scallop. but those scallops aren't as good for a searing application. Why? Because you're gonna have a hard time searing it since there's so much water inside of it. So whenever you wanna do a seared scallop, which I'm not sure if she's gonna do for this dish, but if you wanna do a seared scallop, get dry scallops. You will have a much easier time getting a sear on those. Now, when you go to the supermarket, if you go to your Whole Foods and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure they'll have both. But best indicator if something is a wet packed scallop is if it comes in a bucket, generally. And dry scallops come in a bag. But at Whole Foods, I think they have like a whole row dedicated to, you know, shrimp and scallops and stuff like that. So anyway, little tip for you guys when you go to the supermarket.
Don't make cheap thing expensive. You Maangchi, not Salt Bay.
Right? My kimchi.
Every time Uncle Roger sees that blue glove, it reminds me of my colonoscopy and my asshole get tense.
I brought my kimchi. It's
Good
a
kimchi.
fermented kimchi. It's a sour taste kimchi.
Correct?
Yeah.
Kimchi fried rice, you need sour
Yep.
kimchi. And
Yep.
kimchi get more sour as it get older. Just like my ex-wife Auntie Helen.
Yes. So there's fresh kimchi. I actually talked about this in the Guga video, in my reaction to my Guga video appearance. A fresh kimchi is basically a kimchi that was made, you know, it's made on the spot and you eat it right away. There's been no fermentation. You do not want to use that for kimchi fried rice because there isn't that intense fermented sour flavor that will go into the rice, that'll work nicely with the rice, right? Because rice, what is rice essentially? It's a plain starch, especially, you know, East Asian rice is not cooked with any spices or salt or anything like that. It's generally just rice and water. It has flavor, obviously, but it doesn't have the intense flavor. So you want to use a much more sour kimchi because it'll work with a plain rice a lot better.
Chop it up like this.
Good. Chop to little square like that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this kimchi can be a bit wetter because you can use kimchi brine to give the fried rice flavor. This kimchi, just sour and dry. It really like my ex-wife.
My knife and my chopping board everywhere. They have to follow me to cook. If I'm lucky, the place where I stay, they have a really sharp knife. But mostly knife is very dull.
I have several knife kits. I have like my A kit, my B kit, and my travel kit. So my A kit is like my big toolbox filled with all my gear. B kit is like, you know, just my regular chef's knife, which actually is empty now. I don't use that one that often because, you know, now I own my own place and I just work out of the A kit. The hell am I talking about? My B kit is a toolbox. Now it's a toolbox. And then my travel kit is a small knife kit that I can fit into my book bag, that I can fit into my luggage. That's the one I usually travel with. That's the kit I brought with me to go to Guga's place, which I didn't need because Guga had tons of knives. I also brought it with me to Oompa's place.
Niece and nephew, you ever stay in any Airbnb? Their knife dull as Trying to cut with Airbnb knife is like trying to cut with potato. Useless. Dull knife for dull people. That's why every time you go in traveling, bring your own knife. F the police. It's your right to bear knife for kimchi fried rice. That's the Asian Second Amendment. Garlic
That was
correct.
kind of a corny joke.
Good smashing.
Dad joke.
And onion.
Onion. Onion optional because kimchi already strong flavor. But it okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
1 green onion.
Spring onion good. In Korean cooking, if in doubt, just throw spring onion in there.
For real.
Usually correct.
Let's heat up pan.
This is one of those things.
Did Auntie Maangchi bring this gas stove with her
She
also?
definitely did.
Nice. Auntie Maangchi, she traveled in her luggage, got sharp knife, gas stove. That's how you can tell she really loves food. She rather look like terrorists than use induction stove.
Guess what? Frenchie and I are doing a merch collab. Oh no! Straight out of compliments to the chef tees are now available for pre-order, but this is your last chance because a week from today, pre-orders are officially closing for this limited edition run. That is right. Once they're gone forever. So make sure you visit the link in the description below and place your order today. With that said, back to the episode. Kimchi fried rice is one of those things. It's like a pasta sauce, an Italian pasta sauce. Everyone does it a little different. They all taste kind of similar or very similar, but everyone has their own little differences. For my mom, it was just rice, kimchi, a little bit of gochujang, a little bit of soy sauce. That was freaking it. Oh, and a tiny bit of sesame oil, and that was it. But you know, she's doing the garlic and the onions. Actually, I think my mom did garlic. Don't remember. It's been a while since she made kimchi fried rice.
Add 2 tablespoons vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil, good.
And add this garlic, onion, green onion.
Green onion in a bit too early, Auntie Maangchi.
I would agree with that.
It's a bit weird to saute inside pot. Why do you just use saucepan?
Keep stirring until really crispy and brown.
You know, she said this is a one-pot thing. She's got those big scallops and shrimp, you know. Maybe the pan's not big enough. I'm not sure. No, that is a big pan.
Okay, why are you transferring to another pan now? That weird.
So this is around 1 tablespoon.
Auntie Maangchi, I thought you said kimchi fried rice is 1 pot meal?
Oh yeah, good point.
This is a 1 pot meal.
But then you use 2 pot?
Yeah.
Is this fried rice in open relationship or something?
Let's add shrimp and scallop.
Okay, searing
Okay,
this.
she's using the second pot to make shrimp scallop.
Them over.
But it look good.
It's a little crispy.
Look like it cooked well. Look delicious.
Those are
2
definitely
or 3
dry
minutes.
scallops. It's searing
You
well.
can-
I mean, she's not having trouble getting color, but I think it would have been easier to do all this on the saute pan, sear the scallops and shrimp first, pull those aside, and then cook her onions and garlic and her scallions. Yeah, she could have avoided using that second pot. Also, searing is a lot better on a saute pan because it's shorter, wider, and it'll expel moisture more easily versus a pot with tall walls. One of the reasons why it's designed like that is because it insulates moisture more versus a saute pan, which is designed with these concave sides so that the moisture actually escapes.
Turned into
But,
opaque
you know,
inside. Even shrimp.
no biggie.
That means they're cooked.
That good advice, except for sushi. Never eat transparent seafood unless your hobby is f***ing yourself.
Okay, some giant clams.
What is this? My Auntie Maangchi cooking in field of giant green dildo. Sorry, children. Another plate. This Auntie Maangchi definitely got cleaner. Just using so many dishes and pans.
I made rice. This rice is made with 1 cup short grain rice. 2.5 cups rice.
I hope that leftover rice, Auntie Maangchi, but it kind of looked like fresh rice.
It does. It does.
Kimchi go in, correct?
Kimchi goes in. Okay.
Stir-fried kimchi a bit.
You know, I can tell you right now, my mom never used day-old rice to make fried rice. It always came straight out of the rice cooker. And, you know, I think, I don't know if that's just how my mom does it. If I'm recalling, my aunties did it that way. You know, my mom's friends that I grew up with did it that way when I would sleep over, you know, at their house. Not with my mom's friends. You know, I was friends with their kids and would sleep over, you know. Growing up, I don't recall them ever using day-old rice, you know. So just let me know in the comments for you other Korean folk out there how it was for you guys.
And then let's add rice.
She could have done this on the saute pan.
And I will add around 1/4 cup water.
Wait, what? No, what? No!
Jamie Oliver level up there.
No
Wow.
water. Auntie Maangchi, no water.
And I'm a
please.
fan of Maangchi, by the way.
You say all kimchi brine.
Yeah.
You definitely
Why didn't
need
you use the kimchi brine?
Not water. Hiya, this Jamie Oliver
Yeah.
mistake. Uncle
Uh-huh.
Roger have to put my leg down from chair. Auntie Maangchi, Uncle Roger like you. Don't put water in your fried rice. You're gonna get cancelled like me.
Of course, we need to add gochujang.
No gochujang in kimchi fried rice.
Oh, my mom put in
is
gochujang.
fermented soybean paste that taste don't go well with
No, you put
kimchi
in a little
fried
bit, it's
rice.
fine.
If you want to add extra seasoning, maybe sugar, because the sweetness good pairing with the sourness of kimchi. And of course, you can always use the cocaine of cooking, MSG. In Korea, it's known as dashita.
To add the gochujang, about maybe 2 tablespoons.
Uncle Roger disappointed.
Wow, delicious.
Stirring like this, okay. Kimchi fried rice, Korean food, you don't need to wok toss.
Yeah,
You can just stir. It's a bit boring, but Korean people don't really use wok.
Yeah,
no
that's
wok
true.
hey. Why so weak? So weak.
Chinese food is very popular in Korea, but it's Korean Chinese food, which is jjajangmyeon and 탕수육. Any native Korean speakers are probably like cringing at my pronunciation, but there's not much wok cookery in Korea, and I've been to Korea numerous times when I lived in Beijing. I would go every few months. I don't recall seeing a single wok in anyone's house. Man, I really miss Korea. Like, I loved hanging out in Korea, Seoul specifically.
Actually, this is a kimchi bokkeumbap. Even just by itself, delicious.
She using metal spoon in non-stick pan, but the metal spoon never actually touched the pan, so that okay.
Good. I will add just a little bit soy sauce.
Soy sauce optional
My mom
because
puts in
kimchi
soy
usually
sauce.
quite salty already. But because the kimchi not much brine, maybe that's why she need extra soy sauce.
And now let's plant all seafood here.
Okay.
Wait, you
Yeah,
plating seafood like this?
Yeah, it's more like a paella.
This like paella.
There you
It's
go.
not fried rice anymore?
Yeah. Well, number one, I feel like she could have done all of this on the one pan. I don't know why she needed to have the sauce pot in there. That's a little bit of a nitpick. But this is a seafood. This is a seafood kimchi fried rice. 1000%, it's authentic. It is plated like a paella, And I think she's doing it for the camera, for the visuals. I mean, look where she's at. Beautiful Montauk, Long Island, and there's beautiful seafood out there, so I don't blame her. You go, girl. You do you.
This definitely paella. Auntie Maangchi, I think you're making wrong dish. I think you're not making seafood kimchi fried rice. You're making seafood kimchi paella. Nobody make fried rice with lid.
And one thing missing, sesame oil.
Sesame oil, correct?
Sesame
little
oil,
bit of
drizzle
sesame oil.
sesame oil.
Very good flavor.
Korean food, I would say one signature of Korean food, Uncle Roger mentioned scallions. I would say another one is definitely sesame oil.
Sesame seed, correct? Don't come at me
And then,
with
of course,
Oh,
kimchi.
Uncle Roger, I'm allergic to sesame seed.
If little tiny bitsy sesame seed kill you, you deserve to die.
So excited. I need cold beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Paella, it's definitely paella now.
Yeah, I don't know if the lid was necessary because I feel like the seafood was cooked through enough. Maybe she was trying to warm it up again. Also, by putting the lid on there, she's trapping the moisture and just putting it back into the fried rice. However, I'm half Chinese, I'm half Korean, so I grew up with, as most Asians, grew up with both Chinese and Korean food, right? But for me in particular, I had very authentic fried rice growing up. I had also had very authentic Korean fried rice growing up, and they are very different. You can see even from the cooking technique to the tools used, like in this case, a frying pan versus a wok. And, Korean fried rices tend to be a lot more moist and sticky. And there's no wok, and there's not much grain separation. And that also has to do with the fact that, Korea tends to use the shorter grain rice, which is a lot stickier. And in fact, my dad hates that kind of rice. He can't stand it. He likes the fluffier, long grain types of rice.
Few big mistake. Next time, no water and no gochujang, please. And she missing fried egg and
Yeah.
the torn fried seaweed. That classic.
My mom always put on a fried egg on top. She didn't really put on seaweed, but every family does it a little differently. And I'm trying to think. She didn't really put on sesame seeds. I think that was more out of laziness. I definitely agree, no water, but I'm fine with the gochujang.
Hiya, Maangchi, this is not your best dish. But Uncle Roger's still gonna call you Auntie Maangchi because all your other traditional Korean recipe are so perfect.
I am definitely a fan of Maangchi. I've definitely referred to her videos in the past when I wasn't able to reach my mom for recipes or, some knowledge about how to make a certain Korean dish. So very cool. I like it. You won't very often see jumbo prawn scallops inside kimchi fried rice. This is definitely something she did for the video. I would definitely eat the shit out of that. So down with it. Very cool. Before we close out this episode, I do want to say thank you to all of my amazing patrons. Guys, thank you so much for your support. And remember, for the rest of you, by becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes, uncensored extended versions of certain episodes, and most importantly, patron exclusive content. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And remember, don't be afraid to fail because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I'm Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.
Find a silent